Okay, you are recording and you're ready to go.
Great. So there's an agenda in front of you guys. Welcome to the Four Creeks Neighborhood Association, our first meeting of 2026. Normally we would do introductions and other stuff, but we've actually got officer liaisons here this evening, so I'm just going to let them talk to you right away, answer any questions that you have. We have Sergeant Futrell.
Yeah.
Yep. And Officer Tice with us.
So I'm Sergeant Futrell. I'm the Graveyard West Sergeant. We just wanted to make sure we were present and could answer any questions you guys might have or anything. I am working patrol, so I asked them if I could answer any of your guys' questions before I take off. This is Deputy Tice. He also works the west side here. And again, we work the nighttime. So yeah, we're happy to answer any questions you guys have for us or any questions about law enforcement. And I know you guys probably want to talk about roundabouts and neighborhoods and street closures and all that fun stuff, right? So
we don't allow roundabout talk.
I can tell you I grew up in Clark County, right? I grew up in Battleground, so I've lived here all my life. So I cherish you guys showing up and wanting to ask questions and engaging. What can I do for you?
Hi, I'm Heidi.
Hi, Heidi.
A couple questions. Curious about what your staffing levels are these days, and whether you're still understaffed or you've got more plans to hire.
Yeah. So just recently, we're starting to get almost to fully staffed. They just introduced a bill where basically we had to do a bunch of training and de-escalation training and all this stuff, which we were able to achieve. And they're looking at hiring, I think, around 21 more additional deputies on top of the number that you're picturing. So our staffing is projected to get better. Mind you, we're still the lowest staffed agency, I think, in like all the United States, but we're getting there.
There was a point where there was like one of you patrolling this big area here. So I'm assuming that means there's more.
Yeah. So that's kind of the standard with sheriff's deputies, right? We don't have a bunch of small cities where the houses are connected, right? But when you start looking at bigger properties, right, you're not going to have a bunch of deputies in one area because the reality is, right, Cowlitz County, Skamania County, Yale Reservoir, those are our areas that we patrol. So we just make do with what we have. I mean, that's just kind of the way a sheriff's office. Can I answer your question, kind of?
Kind of. I've got other things I'm thinking about, but any areas of concern with any sort of crime uptick or downward trends?
There's been a downward trend in actually a lot of different crimes. We're still dealing with some like auto prowls and stuff like that. A lot of juvenile crimes. Stealing cars, things like that. Not really targeted crimes, right? So they're not gonna like come get you, right? But I can tell you if you drive a Kia, they might steal your car. I'm kidding.
No, you're not.
Does that answer your question? Yeah, there's not really. I mean, Clark County is honestly kind of reasonably safe.
There have been times where there have been kind of a couple things that have been going on, but it just seems like I haven't heard a lot. So.
Yeah, I mean, we deal with crime all the time, so in my mind, like crime is like, your crime and my crime are probably two different definitions. But Clark County is otherwise relatively pretty safe. We live in a pretty good community, so there's nothing going glaring. Right? Who woke you up? One of my deputies?
No, 2:30 in the morning. They were out for that.
Yeah.
A million flashing lights and what?
Yeah. Where was that?
It was right around the corner. It was right on the first house.
179.
Yeah, 179.
Oh yeah, we got him, right?
Yeah, I know you got
him. Yeah, we're pretty good.
Yeah, I asked my neighbor. They said
we got him with a drone.
Yeah, I know.
No big deal. I run the drone for
her. I heard he was in the ditch.
Yeah, he was trying to be. And then he wasn't.
But we didn't know what was going on.
Well, sorry we woke you up. We try to normally be kind of quiet.
You couldn't have been quiet. That was pretty noisy. Right. I'm glad you were there.
But, you know, he
You
didn't
got
come
your
to your
man.
house, didn't come hurt you, right?
Yep.
We were able to do it safely.
You did a good job.
I appreciate that. Anybody else? I thought for sure like you were gonna be like roundabout.
Everyone knows it's off limits.
Nothing else for us, guys?
I have a question.
Yeah.
I saw you guys have some canine officers.
Uh-huh.
Didn't you guys currently have a canine officer?
We do, but his dog is not nice. Our dog working currently on right now. Does he bites? He's a working dog. But we do have some other dogs that are super friendly. They do, like the fair events. We have some public safety events that they do where you can see the canine demos and everything. They do a pretty good job. Or sorry, not Maddox. Ajax isn't allowed to visit anybody. We put him in the car because he's, I don't know, I think he has some type of mental health issue or something. Just likes to work. Anybody else?
Any change in like the homeless dynamics?
Yeah, so not so much. I mean, as you guys know, it used to be way worse, right? I mean, remember when Salmon Creek had just RVs just lined, right? So the county ordinance is basically you can't camp on public roadways, and we enforce it pretty good, and people kind of understand that they can do it. I did see some legislation coming through where basically tax funding has to. There's some weird stuff coming through right now in the state legislation about punishing homeless people because they're homeless. That's kind of the concept that the bill is going with. So that might impede with the effectiveness of, so there might be a little push and pull going on, but otherwise, I'm really having a whole lot of issues from, we never have. I mean, I've worked Hazeldale and I've worked, if you typically know them, they typically mind their own business and like hands and like they're not really ones committing. Everyone thinks they are, but they're not really the ones committing crimes. Like they're not. Like they might steal your recycling bins and take it down to Oregon and get 10 cents a can, right? But I haven't really experienced the homeless population being the ones that are doing the crime. They're just kind of not fun to look at, right? It's typically what people say, but yeah, not really a problem. Not really a problem for us. We actually have a pretty good relationship with them. Anybody else? To answer your question about the dogs, I don't have a dog. They don't want me to have a dog. Nothing else? Nothing else good over? Okay. Well, nice meeting you all. Thank you for engaging in your community. Thanks for being here. And
Thank you, Sergeant Patrol.
Thank you.
Yes. Sure. You know what? Let me do it like this. No worries, I do.
I'm Deputy Tice. I'm the deputy liaison. So if you have any questions specifically for the area, let him know or let me know.
Yep.
I'll do what I can. Sound good?
Okay.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we call our meeting to order here. So, first of all, I just want to tell you who I am. Let's see, what do we have behind me? So my name is Andrew Checkett. I'm the board chair of Four Creeks Neighborhood Association. And I'm always going to do this introduction. We've been around since 2023. This version has, and I've been the board chair since then. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Bob Heiberg, Vice President, and soon to be treasurer, I think.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's how the votes go.
Have you ever transferred the authority to be?
Transportation. Hello, I'm Ann Elder and I'm the secretary and come and help scribe the meetings. So everything's gathered, all the information.
Yep. And you heard Bob say he might be the treasurer. I mean, I don't know if you want that role.
Like,
I've given it to
actually,
you. I've given it to you.
it's not a big deal. You're taking care of it now,
He's
so.
the treasurer guy. But we have an open role. We have a treasurer role open. And so it is a role that we need. We'll talk a little bit about that tonight. We need to approve our meeting minutes. So can I get a vote from our September 17th meeting? Can I get a motion to approve those minutes. And then can I get a second?
A second.
All in favor of approving the minutes? Looks like a majority to me. They have, if you are going, the minutes, what is we talking about? We have a website, it's fordcreeksna.org. And at that website, you will be able to find all of our meeting minutes. You might, are we recording tonight, Marilee?
Yes.
Okay, great. So you'll probably be able to find video of the meeting. If you're going, I don't remember this thing that was really important to me. What was it? As well as PowerPoint presentations and all that stuff. What's that? Oh yeah, Marilee, do you want to introduce yourself? I should bet she's on this.
I'll come over so the people, well, there's nobody on the camera, so nobody's signed on to Zoom tonight. I'm Marilyn McCall. I'm the neighborhood coordinator, so I'm the county's liaison. Most of you that have been here before know me. I, at the other end of the phone, if you call the county and need to know answers to who to call for code enforcement, potholes, signs being down, any of those things. So.
Yep, if you want to say good stuff about the neighborhood, you call us. If you have complaints, Marilee,
that would be me.
I'm just kidding. So officer liaisons we did today, committee reports. Yeah, go ahead.
We didn't do the pledge of allegiance.
Yes, I removed that from there. It's not a thing that I wanted to do. It was a thing that Jay liked to do. But I got some folks who felt a little uncomfortable with it, and yeah.
It's still on the agenda.
Well, it was missed. So if folks would like to do it, we can. I would like someone else to lead it.
Going on the board.
Andrew?
Yeah.
The old one.
So some people are uncomfortable with the pledge of allegiance.
Yeah, you're talking to one of them.
That's too bad.
It is unfortunate, you know.
So nobody does it because somebody doesn't like it.
Everyone's welcome to do it.
Well, let's do it.
All right. Leonard, go ahead and lead it. You go ahead and lead us.
Oh, okay. I pledge
Allegiance
allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks. So committee reports. So right, like I said, we are short a treasurer. I'm going to move to the next slide, Marilee.
Okay.
Cool. A couple of them. We've got, there you go. So we recently had a point of sale withdrawal at Hostinger, which is a website hosting company. So what that is I've been rebuilding the website for us. We got a bill this year from Wix where we were hosting it before. They wanted, instead of $200, $700 a year, which is more than we have in our account. And so I looked for a better deal, and it's here at Hostinger. So I've been spending a lot of time rebuilding the website. There's no way to just transfer it. It's not an easy thing. And we probably have 100 links and, you know, hundreds of documents things. So, but it's almost done. It's almost done. It's going well. It's going to be a lovely website when we get there. Anybody who's been out there, you heard me, you know, I already mentioned you can get the minutes and all that stuff. You can get the land use notices. There's a lot of links for resources in our area as well. So, so that's the next one. So you can see our current balance is $452.02. This is from donations from you guys. So I appreciate those donations for the neighborhood association. That's what's keeping basically the website going. It's mostly what we've spent funds on.
So will the address change?
No.
Okay.
It'll also be hosted the same domain.
Yeah, I'm wondering if you can let us know what you might need more money for. Is this the only way we get money is by donations? A forecast for what we need in our treasury?
Yeah, so you know, a forecast for what we need in our treasury is let's see, what was the price here? $157.92. So we got 4 years of web hosting for that price. So instead of $700 a year, we got it for $40 a year. Yeah, so the forecast is looking good right now. That's mainly what we use it for, but, you know, when we started the account and started taking donations, it was for things like, it was like this is like bare minimum, right? This is your maintenance, this is your mortgage and your utilities. But we'd love to use it for other things like neighborhood picnics or other community events. Right now, it's just us 3 folks, but in an ideal situation, we'd probably have at least 5 people on the board, and maybe more like 7. So that's kind of what it takes, right? Is to have some folks that are willing to roll up their sleeves and do that. Yeah. So, you know, 2 sides of that coin. One side is we don't actually need very much money because we're not doing a whole bunch of stuff, but I would love to do stuff. So we might be able to do that. Does that answer the question? Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna adopt that from the sheriff's deputies here. Bob, do you want to give an update on traffic? Uh-huh.
Does that have a slide?
I don't know how many of you are aware that they're building a distribution facility on 50th. And the slabs are going down and they're enormous. Once that goes into that operation, truck traffic on 50th is probably going to be pretty unbelievable. 179th Street still closed. I didn't get a chance to talk to the contractor. As you know, for a while, they opened it up. Now they've closed it, and I'm going to assume it's because they're going to start building the bridges. And
Probably a couple more years. 2 years,
pardon?
2 years maybe.
Yes, they talked about 2 years. And I would imagine it's going to take about that amount of time because they got to build a roundabout.
That's what I'm wondering.
They've got to build the 2 bridges. And then they've got
now Zoom is a sling for a passcode. They can't seem to find anywhere.
And so I think 179th Street's not going to be able to
The
hold.
meeting is asking for a passcode.
It's east of the highway or west?
East. East. 20, it's at 29.
It shouldn't be, but.
Northeast 29th and 179th. And
Email on here.
Jessica
Some documents.
downloaded, did you get a copy, or Jessica downloaded a bunch of stuff from the building projects that they're showing? And it's just absolutely amazing. The building permit applications, actually.
Okay.
And it's amazing how many applications are in. Notwithstanding all the applications that have been already.
Yes, I can access.
I would
Just
say
your own
there's
email.
probably about 12 new projects. And they're all over the county. Most of them are high density units, condos, I guess. And so we can see the population in our area greatly expand over the next 2 years, depending on people's ability to buy them. And the Ramble Creek, it's almost, it appears that it's almost about 60% built out, and they keep adding to it. So that the new housing keeps increasing as they get new homeowners. So I don't expect that to change for the next couple of years. But anyway, we can expect a lot of traffic. And this is about it.
Yeah.
Would it be possible, whenever last year, maybe not last year, the one before that, we had some people from the county give us a broad update on projects along 179. And they're talking about the traffic control or traffic management plan for that big closure. I live at ground zero for that, so welcome to my world.
Right.
Can we get somebody at the next meeting from the county to give us an update? Because
they talked about a lot of projects. I've only seen one, and that's the one at 29th. I know there's a minor one at 50th that was done last year, but no word on where the interchange is, or the Delta roundabout, or the other roundabout at 15th when it comes out.
Eventually.
Yeah, so we get up, somebody has an update on that.
Absolutely. We will invite them to the next meeting. Actually, I like that you opened that up. Does anybody else have stuff that you, I mean, we normally save it for the end of resident open house, but if there's something that you're going, we're supposed to be here tonight. Yeah, okay. Well, do let me know if you think of something. We have Miranda, there you are, Miranda. I was like, she's in here. Miranda Lange from City of Ridgefield, actually to talk about exit 11, right? And the I-5 interchange.
Are you ready for me now?
I'm ready for you now. Come on. Yeah, come on up. And then I just realized that I do have slides and things. They really never got.
Oh, it didn't go through?
I didn't actually get it. I'm just realizing.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
So
I totally did.
I apologize for
Can
that.
you connect iPad or should I grab my laptop?
Really, do you know the answer to that?
I don't know if I can hook a laptop up to this. If you can send it to my email, I can get it.
We have a USB
I could do that too.
that I could just like,
All of the above, I can do.
let's do that. Let's, can I have that flash drive?
Okay.
It's the bright orange.
If I unplug your flash drive, I'm going to unplug everything that's on the screen.
Okay. But not, it won't unplug the Zoom. That's okay. We'll come back to it.
What are our connections?
Let me do this and just plug her flash drive into this.
I'm gonna put it on that flash drive.
Yeah,
Oh, you're going to put it on this flash drive. Okay, hang on.
unless you have a different one.
I
Sorry,
got
guys, this is on me. I forgot. She was gonna send us the PowerPoint presentation. And it sounds like we had an email block.
I'm
so
wondering if the file is
get
too
it.
big.
And then I just completely forgot that I was
Okay,
supposed to put it in.
that
That's
can
what
happen.
Yeah, that could happen. So,
I'm just trying to make sure I'm not doing something that's gonna
Blow something
blow
up.
something up.
Was there another agenda item you wanted to jump to while we're doing this?
that's a good question.
There we go.
Amphitheater.
I mean, I don't have anything to talk about with the amphitheater right now. Do you? Oh, tell us, Steve.
I just sent them an
Oh.
email the
Yeah.
last day or two saying that we haven't had a debriefing on what went well, a few things, and what went poorly, a lot of things with the last season in the amphitheater. And they promised that there would be a meeting before the next season started. So
Okay.
It's right there.
that's ongoing.
It's already on the thumb drive.
I've got a question on the
Nah,
amphitheater.
yeah,
okay.
Let me see if it opens.
One of the last sponsors they had last year,
Yeah.
the noise was unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
What was that? That was,
And I
I
sent them an email and I never got a response.
think it was a big headliner.
It was. I know exactly what you're talking about because I can't really hear it at my house. And it was like rattling the windows
Oh,
at my
wow.
house.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Yeah, we were talking about it. We were like in our house going, is that the amphitheater?
I'll put that on the agenda because they
Yeah.
have a noise limitation.
Well, they do have noise.
And it was the last show of the year. That's what it was. They are, you're absolutely right. I think they told us 105. I mean, I remember Amanda saying 105 decibels at the board, right? So, and we have a monitor on there, but you're absolutely right.
Over 105.
Oh, I'm sure. Sure. Yeah. So,
Okay.
and Steve, I'm so sorry. I'm just, I just forgot to introduce you with our committees, you know? So Steve, you want to tell folks who you are?
I'm Steve Thalberg and have a bunch of little projects going on. One of them is to introduce Miranda Lange. She is the Deputy Public Works Director for the City of Ridgefield. The City of Ridgefield is tasked with coming up with the primary route for the I-5 exit 11 and route going west towards Ridgefield. She's a
So it's this one? Yeah,
professional
that's fine.
engineer, so she's in charge of the project for
Ridgefield. She has worked in design and construction at the state and federal level, and as well as private projects, and now she's getting the municipal side. She's been involved with projects, a lot of projects in Oregon and Colorado, among other places. Are you?
Seems like we're rolling.
We're good to go.
Okay.
We are good to go.
Without further ado, Miranda Lange.
And I am going to say thanks to Chuck because he set up the backbone of this presentation before he left.
Oh, good job, Chuck.
Thank you, Chuck.
No charge.
I like it. I like it. So yes, like Steve said, I'm Miranda Lange. I have been at Ridgefield since August 11th. So just broke the 5-month mark. So still learning. I have not had a day yet where I'm like, oh, what do we do with this? But I'm starting to get fewer and a little bit further between each one of those moments. So I am here to talk about the I-5 South Connector study and let you know kind of where we are, where we're going, what we're doing. And we're still in our infancy of it, in all honesty. Did you want me to tell you slides?
Yes, just tell me when to switch.
Perfect. You can go even one more. So just to give you a little bit of background on where we were. So this started well before the mid-2000s, okay? And there were some planning studies that were done. One was on the 179th Street corridor, and then there was the Ridgefield Transportation Plan. On that one, they identified that multiple level of service deficiencies happened in the study area. Okay, so then that's like, okay, so now what do we look at? And I am going to say, Chuck, if there's anything you want to add, please jump in, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So then the mid-2000s, there was a study on a connection between I-5 and State Route 502, which is also Northwest 219th Street. And this was added to the county and city plans. Now, as you all know, this area is in the county, right? It's not been annexed into the city yet. If ever. So then in 2019 to 2021, Ridgefield did receive a WASDOT planning grant that resulted in 7 different alternatives. And that's pretty much where we are, okay? We did receive a petition that was provided in 2023. That was for the purple alternative, which Steve kindly provided that to me also because it had not been provided to me prior to that. So I do have that. We're good. So 2025, as you guys all know, the city, I'm making a lot of assumptions about what you know, so stop me if you have any questions. The city and county started updating their comprehensive plans. That is a bit of a long process. If anybody is familiar with that, it's a lot of studying, a lot of reviewing, a lot of public commenting that happens to go through the entire process. Okay, and so that brings us to where we are now, which is 2026. We have a consultant on board, Kittleson, and they were awarded their notice to proceed last Friday. So that is why we're basically still in our infancy. We've had them on board officially for 3 days. Okay, next slide. All right, so where can you find information about this, right? There's a lot of questions. People stay up at night thinking about this stuff and really wondering what in the world is going on. No? Yes? Maybe? Some? Yeah. So you can actually find some information, right? If you go to the Ridgefield Roundtable, so there's been some questions like, where are we actually posting information? You can find a lot of stuff on the Ridgefield Roundtable. It's where we post our current information on projects. It does have its page for this project in particular, and it does have some background information on it so that you can go look up some of these previous studies that have happened. Okay. The link should be live, by the way, when you post the PowerPoint. So hopefully it works. If not, holler to, I can always send it to you directly.
Okay.
Next slide. So what's the purpose and need of this whole area? So the I-5 South Connection Project, it'll improve regional connectivity, right? It's gonna add that extra entrance and exit into Ridgefield itself. It's gonna provide that continuity between Battleground, I-5, the whole area. Just really help people get through there. There's a lot of needs, right? There's a lot of failing things that are gonna happen. Kind of like what we mentioned about those studies earlier, that the level of service showed some deficiencies. Some of that is all incorporated in this area, right? big deal. There's no connectivity to I-5 other than Pioneer or 179. But that makes it kind of rough. Next slide. This is on. Do I need to be using that?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Is that meant to be on? It's not.
I hadn't turned it on, but I don't know how to turn it off.
Okay, I'll just stop bumping it.
Yeah, I was.
If there is an on-off switch on it, I don't know
There's not.
where it is.
There's not.
I will just
It's okay.
avoid it.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry. Okay, so then let's look at the alternatives. One more slide, please. Has anyone in here seen this map before?
Yes, we have
Couple.
seen this
Okay,
before. We've seen
excellent.
Some of us for sure.
Excellent. Okay, so this does show all the various alternatives. You've got your purple route, your blue route, your pink route, your red route, your yellow route. And you can see some overlap between them, right? Kind of in some of these different areas, which makes sense. So the goal is to get the number of routes reduced to a preliminary, locally preferred alternative. Okay? And that's going to take some time. It's a process that we need to go through. And it's also going to take a lot of money. So I was mentioning to Steve today that we just filled out a grant application. I'm using the term grant loosely. It's a legislative request for $5 million in the hopes that the state legislature will say, yes, we are going to help fund this. We will see. With any luck, they will, because currently we have $270,000 and our request is for $5 million. Okay. Would you go to the next slide for me?
Before you leave, can you show where the Ridgefield's growth boundary is on that slide?
So the growth boundary is the dashed line, which you can kind of see. I might not be. Oh no.
Is it the red?
Yeah, the
it's
red dash.
Yes,
There you go.
yes, thank you. It's the red dash. So much easier with the mouse. Thank you.
What's the green?
Which green?
That
This
whole
green?
green area, well, you've got
This green?
this green, what does that mean?
This green is oak woodland.
What about the overall lighter green? Yeah, that, what does that mean?
Oh, I think
I think that's just contours on the map.
Oh, okay.
That's basically
No, I was
agricultural, that's
Oh,
basically.
you mean this whole
Yeah,
area?
what is
that's
the
green?
yellow, or
Yeah.
that yellow area, what is that
So
slated? What is it?
These are wetlands right here.
Yeah, I understand that.
Bob,
What?
the light green area is basically AG 20 zoned property.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
Okay, thank you, Steve.
Yeah.
What other questions on that? Any others that I can have other people help assist me answer to? All right, so these are the actual summaries of the different routes. But then when you look at the cost estimates here, you can see that doing this project is going to be astronomically expensive. Right, we're ranging from 50 million to basically $100 million. Okay.
When did you do the cost estimate?
Chuck, these were done in 23.
So the first 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What was it? Yeah, 6. We're done in the 2021 study.
Okay.
The purple one was.
I got rid of the passcode if you want to send out an email.
By me, Mr. Albert's help and a couple.
The passcode's gone if you want to send out an email. People want to try again.
Miranda?
Yes.
To clarify, why is the purple route almost twice as much? Because that incorporates the Carty Road development, and that is in the long-term plan of Ridgefield. And if you combine the Carty Road with this I-5, it still saves about $20 million as opposed to any of the other colors with the Carty Road development.
Could you go to the previous slide, Miranda? That'll show what Steve was talking about. So the purple, if you go north, there's that dot, which I assume is a roundabout. You would turn to the right, that's Carty. Turn to the left, that's Carty toward 10th Avenue. Left to the left, that's Carty toward Filbers. And that's the part that Steve was talking about. That is actually in the city's capital facility.
Right there.
So that's a separate
Purple.
project.
Yeah, come on, purple.
Same timeline?
Timeline is if somebody drops $90 million out of the sky. And
So, and that Carty Road segment has what we call an urban growth holding on it. And basically we need to make sure that we have substantial funds to be able to release that for development before we can do that road. Go ahead.
So I was just trying to figure out, because it looks like there's a bunch of different jurisdictions. There's probably City of Ridgefield for part of it, county for part, and federal for part.
Yes. And WashDOT.
Oh, sorry, yeah, and WashDOT. So when you're thinking about this, like, how are you engaging all the parties to get the funding? Because it doesn't seem like City of Ridgefield is gonna pay for all of it.
All of it, right? So we have had conversations about that already. Ridgefield is leading this portion of the study. We will need the county's participation. We've already had meetings with the feds, Federal Highway Administration, as well as we've already had meetings with WashDOT. So they are already engaged with the project. They will be involved in the stakeholder meetings, and we will be giving them regular updates. The county will be reviewing many of the documents that come out of this, and will be given the opportunity to provide comments. It will be up to them whether or not they actually want or have time to provide the comments.
But isn't part of it like counties, like it's not all City of Ridgefield, some of it's county. So
Most of the funds go through the county. I mean, until you get to Carty Road, it's all outside the urban growth boundary of Ridgefield. So that falls in the unincorporated Park County.
Yeah, so what we're doing right now is the city is taking the lead on it because we know the importance on it. The county doesn't have the time or the funds at this point in time to do anything. Like I said, we were given it was actually a $311,000 grant. $270,000 of that is being put towards the consultant's use to go ahead and complete this portion of the project. So it's getting us to a preliminary, what did I say earlier? Preliminary preferred local alternative is the goal. So that then we can advance to 30% design, go into the federal environmental processes, the state environmental processes, and all of those additional pieces that we need to do to advance the project.
do you know how much of it is like flat versus hilly? Because some of the roads are a little hilly and
much of it is
water and places that I assume would need bridges of some sort.
That'll all be looked at as part of this effort. So we'll do a preliminary geotech, we'll do environmental, preliminary studies on environmental, just to look at a high level of what we're looking at, which will help also identify what level of NEPA process we need to go through. That's the federal environmental process.
And just like how many miles is all of that?
No, I don't know off the top of my head. 2.5, is that what you're saying, Chuck?
Yeah.
Maybe?
One.
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on the alternative.
Won't this Eklund Road kind of duplicate what Delphil Road is doing now? As far as traffic?
You mean back up or get
Well,
congested or?
right now, if you want to go up to 199th, you would take Delphil Road and you'd go past Carty Road to get to the overpass.
Eklund Road is a smaller road than Delphil.
Okay.
But it's an existing road.
Okay.
Delphi only goes to 199.
Yeah, and then it ends.
Is it 1 lane, 2 lane road? What do you guys look at there?
The cross section, shoot. Why didn't I look at that part? 2 lanes.
This is the first part. I don't recall
Coming off.
anything justified 4 lanes, but it's just meant to be a kind of a rural connector, rural collector connection with limited access and no, in fact, no development because that's a rural area that's growth management plan. So it's trying to think of an equivalent to that, like 10th Avenue, maybe, where it was improved a few years ago. 72nd Avenue.
Other questions on that one?
Now, I'm just looking from a long-term standpoint, so then does the city currently owning that area, then they kind of the goal
timeline of.
I can't really say what that looks like long term. I mean, with the dollars that this is associated with, it's gonna be a while, you know, unless we get some significant funds coming in, it's gonna be a while before we can move forward on a full build out.
Remember we talked about that dash red line that's urban growth boundary? Anything south or east of that line is under the control of the county. We have a county councilor here who's headlong into the comprehensive plan update that's going on now. There are no plans from the city, Ridgefield, to request extending that south. So everything that's being considered now, that's in the unincorporated area would keep the same zoning unless the comprehensive plan changes.
And I'm not involved in the comprehensive plan, so I can't answer that at this point. Go ahead, what was your question?
Are you referring to south of 229?
Yeah, it's south of this red dash line.
To clarify, if you look at where all those extensions are coming off the freeway there, you'll see that slash, the hash mark on the right-hand side there. Those are red lines.
One more.
It's basically under Ms. Lang's hand. That's all urban reserve. So it is not in the urban growth boundary. It's not urban holding, which is in the urban growth boundary, but it is a potential for annexation into the urban growth boundary, but it currently isn't. And what I've been told by Ridgefield is they don't want anyone in their urban growth boundary who doesn't, or in their city who doesn't petition for it. So right now, the politics of Ridgefield is they're not going to put you there against your will. But that's just currently how it is zoned.
I love the group effort, you guys. Thank you.
The Purple Road really isn't under consideration.
Yeah, all of these are.
But the big impediment is cost, because you already have existing road structures there. So, just the distance that's making it so much more expensive.
So it's the Carty Road improvements. So that gray road that's up there at the top that ties into it, that is also included in here, where that total is not included in any of these alternatives. So that's where you're seeing the difference.
Seems like just modifying the existing structure, less, the least damage to the overall surrounding residential landscape.
I mean, off the top of our heads, right? Looking at it, it seems logical, but there's so much more that we have to review and look at through this process to make sure we're factoring in all of the different components to it. You know, there may be some giant ravine there that's going to cause us, and I don't know off the top of my head, I apologize, but there may be some giant ravine that's going to cost us, you know, an extra $15 million to put a bridge over that. There might be some environmental wetlands or constraints in there that you can see in some of these other areas that have already been identified, but you know, there could be something in there that we encounter that may completely derail that option. That's why we go through the process.
There will be a component because this is going to be studied under both federal, which is the National Environmental Policy Act, and NEPA, and state, which is State Environmental Policy Act. Part of what they look at is consistency with the land use side in comprehensive plan. If you look at the east-west alternatives, they cut through what's called agriculture AG 20 zoning. Some of those are basically, there's a study that's been going on by the county looking at agricultural lands, not necessarily these specific ones, but countywide. Start impacting agricultural lands, that takes you to a different level of analysis and potential mitigation, or if you can't even do it. And so that's going to be part of what they're going to look at, the consultant or sub-consultant on this. is the impacts on the land use and as well as the environmental. We've got a lot of those shaded areas are habitat areas. So those are also sensitive lands for this study.
I would just say any linear project is really tough to plan for and get permitted.
Yeah.
Because of everything that everyone said.
And then there's also time components that are associated with it. So the NEPA process has to be completed within 2 years if it's an EA, which is an environmental assessment. So there's different levels for the NEPA process. So there's a categorical exclusion, which is honestly the easiest one to complete. This definitely will not be that. But then there's an environmental assessment, which is an EA. And that has to be done within 1 year of initiating. And then you have an EIS, which is the environmental impact statement. And that has to be done within 2 years of initiation on it. Now, those used to take 7-10 years to do. When I was in Colorado, we had one on I-25. And it was there when I started, and I left CDOT in 2014 and they were still working on it. So yeah, they've changed the rules now, the laws associated with it to where you have to get it finished faster. However, once it is completed, you only have 3 years now before you have to reevaluate it. So if we didn't have all this constructed or under construction within 3 years of that environmental assessment being done, we'd have to go back and relook at NEPA. So there's all kinds of different components that go into this that we also have to look at so that we're not just wasting funds, basically. Did you have a question? No.
What about the state? Because you're saying they have to be, contributing a massive amount of money for this.
So the state doesn't have to contribute any money, but we do have to have their approvals.
Okay, or so it's the federal funding, is that where we're looking to bridge this gap?
We're looking at all kinds of funding.
So
So
parts,
from the
right?
state, we're
There's
looking at the
state-
legislature to provide. That won't go through WashDOT. That's just a congressionally directed spending that they would give us. So the state WashDOT doesn't have to give us any funds. We're asking for funds from the state of Washington. If that makes sense? From
Yeah.
the
That's a
legislature
capital
itself.
grant through the state legislature. They take these every session. They don't give it to the city every session. This will be the fourth time the city has asked for that $5 million. WashDOT controls I-5. And so anything that ties in or crosses I-5, WashDOT needs to be involved. In this case, it ties in if we 502 or X11 interchange. That brings WashDOT into, they need to approve any connection to that interchange. And that's there.
And then you have the federal component, because anytime there's an interchange at all that exists that you're touching, the Federal Highway Administration has to give their approvals and they have to have direct involvement. It's considered it's a PODI project of direct, so I can't remember what the I stands for. It's not involvement, it's not inspection. It'll come to me at 2 in the morning.
So basically, the only federal lands there basically is I-5, and if you put your hand over the interchange, it covers that area,
Right.
that area under her
Yes.
hand. Everything else is non-federal.
Yeah.
Except there's a little plus sign on the side that
Right.
you need to approve. That was designed for a future west connection, but built for the east. Anytime, and WashDOT is actually the caretaker for the Federal Highway Administration for interstate highways in the state. However, when you're directly involved in an interstate highway, that kicks it up to the Federal Highway Administration level itself.
Which is PODI, it's Project of Division Interest. That's what it is. PODI.
Better than going to Washington. Nothing to be-
It's done out of their Washington office, federal office here, hopefully. Any other questions on this portion? I do want to let you guys know we were invited to come back in March for your next meeting, and by that time we will have a lot more accomplished. So we will be able to give a lot more updates on where we are. So next steps, you could go ahead a couple slides. Thank you. So like I mentioned, we just received the notice to proceed for our consultant on Friday. So we do have some key areas, some key tasks that we want to get done as part of this effort. So we need to refresh the alternatives analysis, right? This has been sitting for a little while. We need to really look to see those 7 options. Is there anything that automatically excludes one of them? That type of thing. Public involvement. So I believe you asked how we're engaging with the federal highways, with WashDOT, with the county, with all of those pieces. So we've got that component from stakeholders, but then we also have all of you. You guys are all stakeholders in this analysis as well as everyone else who lives in this area. So there will be a public outreach, public involvement effort in this. Steve kindly let me know that door hangers, which is one of the common things that the city of Ridgefield uses, won't work in this area. So we will be mailing out letters to let you know when those meetings are. It will also be posted on the Ridgefield Roundtable, and you can sign up on that to receive notifications specifically about this project as well.
Miranda, can you include our neighborhood association email in that? Should you come to me?
Yes.
And then I will post it on our website and stuff as well.
Can absolutely do that.
Great.
Okay.
Would there be specific notice to property owners along any one of those routes?
Yes. Yes.
So we've requested that, you can't see it. I sent this picture to you. I don't know if you can put it up, but
I emailed it to you, Marilee, if you have access to your email.
you have access to this one, Marilee.
I need to finish this.
We're just putting her on the spot.
It's really hard for me to switch back and forth between screens on this.
No worries.
Basically, it goes from the project area is north of 219th Street, but all the traffic that's going to be affected goes south on 31st, Northwest 31st Avenue to 209th Street. And we've requested that, this is the project area, but we requested everyone from 31st Avenue West.
I know it's going to go up there too. That's why I don't really.
Goes to, we'll get notified, as well as everybody south of, it's that first one. Thank you. As well as everything south of 219th all the way down to 209th. It's not going to stop at the north end of 209th, but it'll include people whose driveways approach 209th from either the north or south. And same thing for everybody east or west of Northwest 31st Avenue.
Thank you. Sure. So then also we're going to be looking at those initial steps to get into the NEPA and SEPA processes, those environmental processes. And we're going to evaluate the framework to assess all the different alternatives, right? What are the criteria that we need to get this road accomplished, to get that connection to happen? And what does that look like? And then do the conceptual development of that preliminary locally preferred alternative that I had mentioned. And then develop the draft and final documentation of the stage 2 study. Okay.
Do you want any of these other ones up while I have this?
Steve, do you
need any of these other pictures up while I have it up?
The top one, that one you already showed.
Yeah.
It's basically your standard map. And then the one that to the left, yes, that one is basically a sky view. And south is at the top of the photo. North is at the bottom of the photo. So that shows the different routes that were established by the city when they did their study about 6 years ago.
Great.
Okay. Perfect. So what does this look like moving forward then? So we have to do our project kickoff meeting, which we're in the process of analyzing everyone's schedules, including FHWA, WashDOT, the county, to make sure that as many people as possible can attend the meeting so that everybody starts off on the same page. We are going to develop that public involvement plan, which we will be sharing out so that everybody can see these are what our intentions are. This is the number of meetings. These are, the number of mailers that we're going to send out, who's going to be involved, all of those pieces and parts. Okay, we are going to collect traffic data, and then we're going to coordinate the travel demand forecast we're working through the Southwest Washington Regional Transportation Council, the RTC. And then we're going to develop our future traffic volumes by analyzing roadway alternative alignments and then conducting our initial evaluation of the build alternatives and assessing the potential environmental impacts for those. So those are really, in a nutshell, the next few steps that we're going to be taking. This whole effort is going to take about 18 months to accomplish. So hopefully during that time, we'll hear word that we're getting an additional $5 million. And then we could keep going. So, okay. Other questions?
Let's say you guys could get funding for the additional 5 million. What would the timeline trajectory be then?
So we would have to look at that, definitely, but that should be enough to get us to 30% design, so that then we could look at when it would best suit us to get into that full NEPA phase. How I mentioned, we had the time constraints on that.
So then it could be moving as fast as 3 years.
Possibly. I don't want to commit to any of that because things change so rapidly in our world.
To put it into perspective, the Patton Parkway development, I think that took 15 to 20 years to get through. The 179th Street improvement has been ongoing for what, 10, 15 years now. So nothing moves very fast. The budget for Washington is very tight, and rumor has it they're not sending out new money. We didn't get they didn't get the 5 million that was requested last year, and they didn't get the 5 million that was requested the year before that. So no one's holding their breath at this point. It's
yeah. What was the decision making then to move forward with spending the money on the consulting?
On the $270, the $270,000, so that we could actually better position ourselves for better funding opportunities in the future. The more we can get done, the better positioned we are for future phases. Other questions? All right, well, we'll see you back here in March. We'll have a lot more to tell you.
Miranda. On here we have our next item is land use projects review. What I was hoping to do, and I just forget this every time. If you got my email today, it said, I'm hoping that you guys will all pull up on your mobile device this link with this excellent land use. Anybody able to get that? Everybody was able to get it. I love it. There's such bad connection in here. I thought maybe we wouldn't be able to. Did you get a chance to look at it? Any concerns, any questions about what's happening with that stuff?
lots of development, but I don't see a lot of infrastructure to support all that.
Oh, gosh, that's a thing. I agree.
I don't know why they get approved without developing the infrastructure.
We're having some concurrency issues. Heidi, you and I were talking about that. What do you want to tell folks?
Yeah, that distribution center opens up and the truck traffic on 50th. It's going to be one traffic jam.
Is that 50th and 179th?
It's south of 150th.
No,
it's like about one.
It's
about
179.
160th or 150th on 50th.
Okay.
You go by and look at the concrete slabs that are putting down. It's enormous, 1,000-foot long, 250-foot wide, and there's a couple of them.
Well, I hope it's bringing a lot of jobs to the county.
Well, I don't know about jobs, but they're sure going to bring trucks.
It's 583,000 square feet, 100 truck base.
Yeah, it's just, it's enormous. I don't know how many trucks a day, but 50th Avenue just isn't going to accommodate it very well. Not with the fact that 179th is closed.
Do you have some comments about that?
These are questions you can raise if the county transportation department comes to.
Okay, we'll put them on that list, huh?
And WashDOT too, because WashDOT has the interchange and county has the other, but
179.
yeah.
So Bob, what they're developing there, like 50th, 60th, what they're developing, is it housing?
I mean,
or
did
a
you want to
business?
say anything about what we talked about? You don't have to.
I
Distribution
can talk
center.
about the
Okay.
comprehensive.
They're gonna.
Yeah. If you wanna
That's
talk a
where
little
they're
bit
gonna
about
store
that.
everything, and then it's gonna go into the tri-county area.
Oh, I know. He's not.
So I've attended a number of the planning and various sessions recently. So the county's at the end almost of the 2025 comprehensive plan. A lot of work, Sue, gosh. I'm really appreciating how much work you all have been putting in. So the impact to our area, there's a proposed rezoning from like northwest 11th out to northeast 29th, north of 179th to double the density, which would put this whole area into multifamily housing. Same sort of thing, if you go down 11th to around 159, there's a lot of undeveloped land there. Same thing, there's some parcels on the east side of I-5, kind of where 15th turns into 20th, around that 159th area as well. Down 50th, past where the logistics center, also putting in some pretty dense zoning there too. So, you know, I've looked at the concurrency regulations, and so I've got some questions I've been asking of council just to make sure that when you're looking at utilities as well, water and sewer and stormwater are not in place in a lot of these areas. So just making sure that everyone is, you know, taking a look at the full scope of what does it mean to put, you know, beyond just roads, what does it mean to put in that level of density here at the end of the growth boundary. So anyway, there's a lot of things to look at, including schools, fire departments, and sheriff coverage and everything. So
Thank you, jobs.
that too.
All these houses in.
Yeah.
Thank you, Heidi, for weighing in on all of the meetings that you've gone to. I would suggest inviting community planning to come, and now is a very good time as we're making decisions about a preferred alternative, which will go through a study as well. Our self-imposed deadline, because we've missed our deadline, is June to complete the comp plan update. But community planning can come, pull up all of the maps, and just go through what all of the zoning changes that are what it is now and what it is proposed to be.
For our neighborhood.
Yes, for this neighborhood up here.
Would it be possible when they came and talked to us about that, to also give us an update now? They were following the laws of the state on the ratio of jobs. I think that we're a little bit behind on the job part.
We have been behind on the job part, but that's all part of the calculation and meeting the new requirements related to affordable housing, and not just hoping to have affordable housing, but there's specific numbers of people in various income bands for all of the cities and for the county that we have to have specific plans for to meet those housing needs. So all of that can be presented.
More jobs are kind of
Absolutely.
And when you say we have to do it too, I just want to say you're talking about state law.
State law,
Requires
Growth
it.
Management Act.
Correct. I just want to say that for folks, so they realize that that's what the state law says. Yeah.
And there's been a number of things that have delayed completion, including the agricultural study that has thrown a lot of uncertainty, I would say, on how best to proceed. And just additional tidbit, the county is being sued by Friends of Clark County because we missed our deadline, which was the end of December 2025, to complete the comprehensive plan. So there's another element that we're having to wrestle with.
Yep, yep. And just, I should say this for anybody who doesn't know, this is Sue Marshall. She is the chair of our county council.
Right.
Oh. But Sue does know. I just want to say that so that you're an expert in this. I want to make sure
I would
folks
say
know.
I'm not an expert,
You're-
but I spend a
okay.
lot of time on it.
With the
and,
experts, yeah.
And I like to come as often as I can to hear what your concerns are, and if there's a way I can be a conduit for information, happy to do that. Or pull whatever levers I can.
Yeah.
Just a point of note, it was the prior county council that lifted the holding status on this whole area, east of I-5 and north of 179 without any infrastructure plans in advance. So
well, they
that
were
was very little. Anyway, you guys are trying to clean up the mess.
Yeah, that's what created it. The 2,200 acres that came in all of a sudden, and that's what's been unleashed on this community. So
we're trying.
we're trying.
There's an awful lot of industrial land that's being turned into storage units, RV parks, RV storage. That's not adding a lot of jobs.
Adding a lot of
Somebody's
lights.
approving those projects.
Yeah.
Who makes the
And
decision?
Code might not cover everything related to, I mean, if it's an allowable industrial use, I don't think it would be good if we had some way to encourage more jobs for agents. We don't have that.
Does the planning commission look at jobs created when they approve projects? Or is that out of their purview?
Well, we make decisions on zoning and growth boundaries and comp plan. The council does not see individual development proposals. That those things would go to hearings and examination. The staff, yeah.
I have probably a stupid question that all of this development of housing and everything that's out in this area and it keeps growing and growing and we have no safely stored or coffee shop or anything that's even anywhere near all of this development. Does anybody look at that at all?
That gets looked at. Often there'll be zones for commercial or industrial. What has often happened is that then people come back later and say, well, we can't attract these businesses.
Right.
Let's make it residential. So, and that's what has happened around 179. Not vote for that.
I don't know if
Right.
it's still, I don't know if it's still the case, but it used to be a situation where you had restaurants. It was requirements for, I think, was it?
Sewer.
Sewer and the traffic requirements were so bad that they couldn't afford to come in.
You mean like impact fees?
Impact fees.
Yeah,
and
okay.
stuff for the sewer and traffic. Yeah.
I don't know, there's a lot of sewer lines that are going in. with all the
Oh, I'm saying, I don't
development.
know if it's still the case, but that's why a lot of the work, when we first moved out here, it was actually.
Yeah.
Because they shut them all.
I can't-
There's another one down the side of the road.
It seemed odd to me. It always seemed odd to me that the amphitheater doesn't have something around it to support these events, right? Folks drive in, many of them drinking in the car. You can just tell by what's on the road where the cars are all in line, and then drive home afterwards. Restaurants, eat, hang out,
That all
bars,
makes
for
great
instance.
sense.
Yeah.
But I would
right.
just encourage people, if they are going to an event, to take C-Tran.
Yes, well, that's the
Park
best,
and
right? That's the
ride.
best. Right.
So you have a question online?
Yeah.
Counselor Marshall has a question online. How is affordable housing defined and what is the threshold that makes the housing affordable?
Pardon me?
How
There's
is
a-
affordable housing defined and what is the threshold that makes housing affordable?
that
sure
your
about
purview?
the
Yeah.
threshold, but I think it's defined related to median income, percent of area median income. So
A lot of
what
times it's
we're,
like 30%.
yeah, we're,
30% expenses.
What is it?
It's based on trying to keep your expenses for rent, utilities and food to no more than 30% of your gross income.
Yep.
but then also we have to build for people in those income brackets that are below, below 80% area median income.
Can they hear that? You know, so.
Were you able to hear? I did get an upgraded camera. Are you
I'm
able
gonna
to
say
hear
a
it
thing,
online?
But I think is true, and you guys
Okay.
just stop me
We'll
if
jump all over
it,
you.
yes, thank you. But I think that 30% of the median income, below that, if folks are spending more than 30% of the median income of their median, I'm saying this very poorly,
Of their household income.
of their household income, and that income is the median income, right, or lower, they are.
Whatever their income is, if they're paying more than 30%, they're.
So I think we're answering different questions, maybe, yeah.
Yep. So
what,
one,
so the question is, what is affordable housing, right? It would be 30% of the median income would be the payments.
That's the threshold.
Right, that's the threshold.
The actual income levels.
Right.
I don't recall if it's like, I think the area median income is somewhere around 75,000-ish.
It's something like that.
And so 80% of that is considered the upper end of low and median and low income.
Right.
They go down to 30% of that for what's considered low income. That's your income.
Right.
The income bands we're planning for.
Oh, you're
goes
right.
down
I'm
to
saying two
zero.
different things. Yeah, you're right. Yep.
And so the 30% that I was talking about was the threshold that we try to keep the cost of housing so that you're not spending more than 30% of your gross household income on rent or mortgage and taxes.
Right.
And a lot of people are paying a lot more.
Definitely. I've been for a while.
I got a question when we're talking about affordable rent. Our county discussing having to be a city of Vancouver just implemented $35 a year for a room or a rental unit. Plus, they're going to have to pay fees for inspections every year by the building department.
That hasn't come.
I just want to know if the county is looking at, because Vancouver just initiated city.
We're not.
Because that just drives up the rent for the people that are.
We did just adopt a 1% sales tax that would go into a fund to support affordable housing. That would raise $6.5 million a year, which is really on its own a huge amount when you look at the need. But those dollars can leverage other dollars, and there's nonprofit organizations that build and put these projects together. So we're trying to do what we can to preserve what affordable housing that it still exists.
Well, I appreciate that. Let's go ahead and jump to primarily the next slides. I do want to make sure that I don't miss one here, right? Yeah. So I just want to make sure that I do this, and then we can actually keep talking if we want to. We have an annual election process that is taking place in March. So we do all of our elections before March 31st. So at our next meeting, we will have elections. These are the roles that are up for election.
Hang on just 1 second.
Yep.
I've got things
Yep. Sorry, I didn't realize that.
not quite going on here. And this should be up here.
The camera zoomed in on you.
This now is fancier
Well, that's
than.
right. I can talk about it anyway. So we've got elections coming up. We will go through the process here quick, but it's pretty short. So the roles that we have are president, vice president, treasurer, and secretary. Those roles are elected annually. Steve is our amphitheater liaison, and that role is appointed. So Steve gets to keep that.
And I-5.
And I-5. You're kind of Steve. This is kind of how we run it. If you're like, oh, there's not a role, I really wish there was a role for this thing I wanted to do. There is. We just need you to tell us, and then we add it. So that's how that happens. So yeah. So Steve, you're the amphitheater and I-5 liaison that we're adding to your title. So these are the roles that are up for election. Anybody can nominate themselves or friends or anyone who lives in the neighborhood or owns a business. Land use chair is a big role that we need. That would just be somebody. I said pull up that land use notice summary. That's the first time I've done that. Where I've actually been able to have a summary. Thank you, AI. I guess a little bit.
Question: Who created that? That was superb.
Gemini, Google's AI.
Really?
Yeah. I have not. I've been having to use it for my new job for a number of different things. The boss really believes in it, and I realized what we could use. It did. Is somebody to just summarize these hundreds of documents. So. But somebody to actually look at it and take more out of it, right? What does this mean? I organized it by largest land mass at the top, and so biggest to smallest land size. But as I went through it, you can see that there's some things that are going to be more impactful, right? It's not the 50-acre one at the top necessarily. That's the amphitheater, and they're expanding their parking lot and putting up a new building. It's maybe the 20-acre cottage development, or it's going to be 300 homes or something, So somebody to look at that would be useful. Oh, and it's on there, something you believe is necessary and you're willing to do. So next slide, please. I already said this, anybody can be nominated. Next slide, please. Oh yeah, before election day, you can request a statement to be presented on our website. So if you want to, these are not competitive elections, but I'm happy to do it for you. It says that we'll do it in the bylaws, and so we will do it. Next one, you can wait until the meeting to if you want to. Anybody can be nominated at the meeting. You don't have to do a statement, but if you want to just introduce yourself at the meeting, you can do that as well.
But if they gotta be at the meeting in order to vote.
What's that?
Gotta be at the meeting in order to vote.
Yes. Voting will take place in person and by paper ballot only. That is in our bylaws. So folks who've been around know that we started to try to move towards a way to do it electronically. We never really got to a place that we were happy with, but we were about to, and then we find issues with the process. And so this is where we are still, and I don't think it's a bad thing. Like I said, they tend to not be competitive. So counting process, we'll tally them all at the meeting. If we need additional time, we'll set that within 5 days. We'll set another meeting for folks to come together and tally those. I've never had that happen, but that's just give us an out. Next slide, please. Kind of what we've just been doing, the resident open house. so let's return to that. I just wanted to make sure that I mentioned the elections. Does anybody have questions about that stuff? The elections? Yeah.
What do you think the time commitment would be for the treasurer position?
It's very little, really. So I think.
What was her question?
Yeah, thank you for saying. So the question is, what is the time commitment for the treasurer position? So the time commitment for that could be, let's see, we have an executive board meeting probably once a month, and then you look at the accounts and go, yep, 400. So 3 hours a month, maybe, yeah, like that. Mm-hmm. And that's
count it every month.
Yeah, yes. You gotta open the vault, take it all out, run it through the cash counter. Mm-hmm. Most of the roles are like that though, right? And as I said before, we can, do as much or as little as we want, but the goal of it is to try to have fun with this stuff. and also to provide a service, right? Make sure we get the information out there and great folks. Yeah, other stuff that you want to talk about. We've got 5 minutes left.
What's your new job?
What's my new job? My new job is the digital marketing coordinator at a tech firm called Buildable. So I'm working. Yeah, go ahead.
Sure, I have a question about a property along 179.
Yeah.
It's just west of northwest 41st. It's that gorgeous new house with all the glass.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking
And it
about.
seems to be only occupied on occasional weekends with a lot of people. Does anybody know what that is?
What was the
Is it
street?
a-
What was
It
the?
sounds like, is it 219?
No, it's on 179.
Oh, it's on
On 179, just west of the intersection of Northwest 41st. So you're nodding your head. Do you know what that is?
To the right?
Wonder if it's an Airbnb.
No, it's a huge, gorgeous house.
Is it white?
No.
Okay.
The
Is
lot
it
of
just
glass.
past the four-way stop?
Pardon me?
Is it past the four-way
Yes,
stop, right
just
to the
west
right?
of the the four-way stop at 41st.
Well, there is several really.
It looks like a music venue. At one
Oh.
time, they had a bass clef made out of wood at the entrance of the driveway, and then there was a treble clef out in the lawn.
Okay.
And like I said, there's nobody there any time during the week ever. And sometimes on the weekend, there'll be a parking attendant out there, showing people where to go to park.
If you're interested, you can go onto Clark County GIS system, just type in the address and hit enter, and that'll tell you who owns it, how much taxes they're paying and all that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of public information.
That just seems like an unusual place to have a place like that.
Maybe there's no water.
You know, yeah, I was gonna say
It's just my curiosity, I drive by it every day.
I mean, it depends on the setup, right? But we have a lot. So my other job is that my wife and I own Momo Flower Farm, and so we do flowers for weddings. And there's a lot of little venues around here that I didn't know about until we get hey, can you see the flowers for
Do
my
we
wedding?
know
And
what
then we
this
go
street
and
would be?
kind of find them like that.
Just type in
Turn left on a driveway and you go.
4110
Beautiful.
Northwest 179th
Yeah.
Street.
Were you home when the idiot neighbor started the fire and had fireworks?
This moment.
Okay, try 4200.
Yeah.
Anything on 179.
It was
She's
fun.
bringing it up.
When was that?
He's trying to find it.
Oh, it was 2024, 4th of July.
Fourth of July.
Yeah, so a couple of years ago, but,
Okay,
Oh.
click
it
on
was
this one.
scary.
Oh, it was just the other
Yeah.
day.
oh, then no, I wasn't, sorry,
No,
I'm
Can I drive?
The guy that,
different fires,
Maps on
different,
Yeah.
different
the
idiots.
guy around the corner on
Minimize.
Is that it?
started a bonfire.
Yeah.
Okay,
burned
minimize some more.
stuff, and
Now, where's
he
one?
Didn't have a hose or a
Oh,
shovel.
that's
Oh, no.
And
39.
somebody, maybe it was his kids, they thrown on those giant
Oh, we're way over
fireworks
here.
onto the fire. And
And
all of a
this is
sudden,
northeast,
it was like
northeast
it sounded like
174.
Yeah,
gunfire
okay, I
everywhere.
wanted
And my
northwest.
neighbor with all the junk, he said his hands were shaking as he was going to call the fire department. And it started to go
Northwest
toward the house.
166.
Yeah, that'll
next
get
to
us
Oh,
there.
that's very scary.
Yeah.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah,
You have a question?
I do, and sorry, I apologize for not being able to show up in person, and I had a little technical difficulties getting on today. The Three Creeks East subdivision that is going in for approval this week borders my property, and on the north side of it, they have a walking path that they've made to where it ends at the end of their property and basically dumps right onto my property. My question is, should I go to that hearing and see if I can get a conditional approval for that where they cannot put that walking path to where it just ends on my property?
Did they already have the hearing? Because I thought I saw
Question.
I thought I saw findings report. Like,
yeah, I'm trying to, David, did you see the land use notices?
Yeah, it was the second one down, Andrew, on the land use notices.
Oh, I saw it in there, oh, I just.
Hang on a second. Is this the house?
Yeah. Just looking at what we've got here, so type 3 land division and environmental review. So that's a final report, right?
Correct.
It's,
And I've talked with the Ginn Development Group and they told me, oh, well, we'll make it
house.
do something different, but I don't trust that they really will. I want it in writing somehow. And that's what should I go to that hearing and see if it can get put in writing as an amendment to the approval?
I mean, I would go to the hearing. I don't know how much, yeah, right. So everyone's kind of nodding and saying, yeah, you should go to it, you should try. I don't, yeah, get yourself on record at a minimum. You know, maybe you can, when's the hearing? Is it tomorrow?
I believe it might be tomorrow, right? And I'm already a party of record on it, so.
And it sounds like you've been working with them on it. I mean, I would maybe just even ask them in advance of the meeting and just say, hey, can we work this out right now in writing before the meeting?
Testify, get it on the record.
Yeah, you think
Yeah.
so? Okay. Oh, yeah,
I
no.
did try to talk to them, and on the phone, they said I would just have to take their word for it, which I'm not really willing to do.
Yeah, I get that. So yeah, I think that we think that that's the best answer. You're getting lots of nods and from folks who've been doing this for a while.
Just go down there, and those approvals can have some conditions to them, a conditional approval.
Well, it's a conditional use permit, it sure does.
So yeah,
So it
Chuck
should
says
be-
yes,
there
that's
should
why
be
it's a conditional
remote.
use permit.
Should be able to do that remote.
And that you might even be able to do it remote. But if you're, yeah, so. I mean, my opinion on that is that I would still go down there, but I know it's different.
Yeah, after tonight, I think I'll show up in person, Andrew.
You do need to call if you're going down to Public Works though, because there's not an open window, so you need to call to make an appointment because you can't just go down there and have an open window.
I think it's a land use hearing, really. So,
Oh, it's a land use hearing?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is the hearing. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, dear. Appreciate the question. We're a little bit after 8:30.
There is one other thing.
final-
There is one other thing.
One other thing, okay.
Yes, I went
Oh, you
out of
found
it.
the house, that's right.
I did find the house. It's just a big house.
Yeah.
It's just a big house. There's no business permits. There's nothing there. So it's just a big house.
Oh, some multimillionaire just comes on Saturdays with 100 of his best friends.
That's how we got the money. Smart, yes.
That's right.
But I wanted to let everyone know.
But if it was for a purpose other than just a house, they'd ask for a special permit. I mean, that's.
They should. They should. I mean, this is.
That the neighborhood traffic management program page is up and running as of yesterday. And so the form for you to submit something for your neighborhood, if you have an area or an intersection that you want to submit for consideration, the applications are going to be evaluated between March 2nd and May 1st.
Great.
And
Is that the one with the city of Vancouver? Or is this a
no,
different one?
you guys are in the county.
That's what I thought.
This is the county's program that just started this year. And so the webpage is underneath of Public Works, underneath of Transportation, and underneath Neighborhood Traffic Management Program. And the application is click here for application. And there's a form for you to fill out. There's a section for you to click on 4 Creeks, your street, intersecting street, what the issue is, the traffic issue details, and your traffic issue in the identified area for you to submit.
Looks like we're due March 1st, which would be before our next meeting.
I'd be good to have a subcommittee.
Other neighborhoods, we had them in last year. Actually, it was at other neighborhood meetings.
And
But they
so
were also in the
contact
neighborhoods have actually set up committees.
Andrew. Yeah, contact Andrew or contact myself if you need to get organized and you want to be a part of submitting something for your neighborhood.
There's a
And
limited amount of money, and I don't know if it's first come or first serve or how they're gonna evaluate them, but it's a new program, this council supported.
Great.
So,
I think there's a little to the side for us.
next year, let's see how it goes this year. I mean,
Yeah.
that was the thought.
Yeah.
Speed humps are not off of the table. So if you have an area that's a neighborhood area that's a 25-mile-an-hour area that you've wanted to have speed humps considered, or have one of those signs that has the flashing speed limit sign, or a crosswalk that has a light, something like that.
We requested that last year on Northwest 209th Street. And,
Then submit,
Submit
decide if
again.
that's what you want to submit, and
We have a program and some money now, so.
now
Okay.
there's
So we have to
money for
resubmit.
it.
Okay.
So have that, make sure you get that in, and then I would, I'd also, make sure that I put my plug in for, getting Andrew some help on the board. We just had one of our neighborhoods, actually go inactive last year. We had 5 people lined up that wanted to give the president $100 checks. Nobody wanted to sign up to help to be on the board, but they wanted to write checks. And the neighborhood wound up folding because we didn't have anybody to serve on the board.
Yep.
And we just need to have, that I can help to a certain extent, and I can help him keep things going, but there has to be at least 3 bodies to keep things going.
Yep.
And the more people that you have that are giving just a couple of hours a month or an hour a month, if you have 7 people, it can be just an hour a month. The more people that you have to spread it through, many hands make light work.
Yep. Sure. Looking at you, Winton.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to Marilee and the county. I call in about every 6 weeks, about a pothole, and you guys fill the potholes within like 3 days. So
We're trying.
you guys are doing a great job with that. It's super.
Yeah, shout out to the sheriff's office too. We had a complaint from one of the other neighborhoods about somebody putting some flyers with hate speech at one of the neighborhoods that was in more of the urban areas. And they did the complaint on the 15th. On the 16th, the sheriff found the person that was doing it and
Was it a woman dressed in black?
It wasn't.
And there's another one.
And they found them and spoke to them. They didn't make an arrest. They just spoke to them, and it was a quick response. And I just was really impressed with how quick the sheriffs responded to it, with all the other things they have going on.
Early, I submitted, we have on 29th, we have a growing used car parking lot. I submitted to the sheriff's office last June, a request to deal with it. And then, since I hadn't heard for 4 months, I did respond to that. I copied you a couple of months ago on what's the status.
And there still hasn't been a response.
Haven't heard a thing.
29th parking lot,
29th south of 170.
south of what?
Yeah.
It's south of what?
170th Street.
170th Street. And it's a dumping ground for dead cars.
Yeah, it's used cars, and a lot of them do not have current license.
Oh, now I remember. I will look for the old email, and I will follow up on it tomorrow.
Anywhere from 3 to 8.
So an unlicensed used car lot?
I don't like
people
that.
just
Just
park their
using the public
cars.
right of way to do it.
I followed up on one of those that was a next door post, and they wound up being wound up being stolen cars.
Yeah, chop shop.
Yeah, it wound up being a chop shop, and they wound up being able to follow up on that. So I will, I'll follow up on that tomorrow for you.
Does Fort Creeks have a next door?
Yeah, sort of. It's set up. I started thinking, oh, I'll manage this, and then right away I was like, oh, this is going to be a lot of extra work.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so it was kind of immediately it was like a rush of questions, and so I kind of went, oh, that's and I don't know. I mean, next door does set up by neighborhood. It's supposed to be, right? Okay.
It's not by the official county neighborhoods, though. People have just been able to do what they wanted, and before the county did stuff.
There's a next door in the south
So-
Ridgefield area.
But-
Mostly encompasses like 31st, 41st area.
Yeah.
The county puts out,
Just to see if there's issues that came up, but yeah, going like, hey, we're here. We kind of being a county proxy. Yeah.
the county puts out broad notices though. If Public Works has something big going on, they're using it to broadcast things. I'll put out broad safety notices if there's a big sheriff's thing that's happening. And now Nextdoor has a new thing that they're doing for public alerts. And so you can sign up for the public alerts. So if there's a car crash or a major safety incident, it will come out. Even power outages now. The PUD is putting power outages on Nextdoor,
Oh, that's good.
which is kind of good to know.
What are the four creeks?
What are the four creeks? So it's the obvious ones, Salmon Creek, Whipple Creek, yeah, Jew Creek.
Kenny Creek.
What about Mill Creek?
Yeah.
What about
So
Willow
the
Creek?
reality is there are 9 creeks in the area. And we were gonna call ourselves 3 creeks. But then we learned about the development that's going on by David, who called tonight. He was saying, 3 creeks development. And we went, oh no, we don't want to do that. And so what do you do if you get 3 creeks? You do 4 creeks. Yeah.
One up them.
You do one up.
It's the American way.
What was the fourth one? What was the fourth one?
Mill Creek.
Well, which ones did you hear?
They're not defined.
Salmon, Whipple, and G.
And G
Oh,
and
Mill,
there's
that
Mill.
crosses one subdivision.
Yeah.
You say there's
Packard
really
Creek,
9.
There's
Packard,
one right
yeah.
off of 50th and I can't.
There's
think
so
of the
many,
name
there's
of it.
like-
It's not in the-
It's 4 plus. Yeah, 4 plus creeks. We're at 8:40. Anybody want a motion to go home?
Move to adjourn. I second it.
It's like,
motion.
I heard it, Roy, motion, okay, vote, and real quick, raise your hand if you wanna go home, and meeting adjourned.
All right, we'll see you all in March.
Thank you.
Thanks, Andrew.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. We'll make sure we don't have the problems on Zoom next time.
I'll try to be there in person.
We're still tonight. We're just